£300 to £500 average nightly rate at peak season.
The cogs turning, then thinking about how we could do that.
Offering experiential stays and adding a real value add.
Have a look on Pinterest. To be honest, Instagram's a really great place to get some inspiration.
Earlier last year, this was a derelict building.
Making pizza and having fun. And
so today we're down in Malvern with Niall from Window Living. Niall is very experienced in the rent-to-SA space, but today we're down at one of his client refurb projects. So come with me inside and we'll have a look.
Hi guys, welcome to the Oven House in Malvern. This is a project that we managed on behalf of a client. So earlier last year, this was a derelict building. As you can see, it's got the original oven in that serviced the bakery that was out front. So we decided to keep that original feature and then refurb top to bottom this to make it a high-end Airbnb. What we're hoping to achieve with this project is roughly a £300 to £500 average nightly rate at peak season. And how we're going to do that, and I can get into it with you a bit more, is offering experiential stays and adding a real value add to the client, not just a super high-end experience in their stay.
So with this property, your client refurbed it. What is your role with the property?
That's right. So we'd worked with them on previous projects.
Okay.
This was sat empty and derelict, and they came to us to help them with an action plan. So we got the builders involved. My wife Sophie, who you meet shortly, handled all the staging, all the setting up, and then we did the marketing and got it live on the online travel agents and platforms and getting it out there and getting guests through the door.
So the interior design of this property is done to a very high standard. Where did you guys get the ideas from?
It all came from me. I am the guy that... No, sorry, I just had to... My wife Sophie does all of the interior design and design aspects of the properties, so she would love to give you a tour and walk you through some of her decisions.
How's it going, Sophie? Nice to see you
Good,
again.
thank you. Nice to see you
So this
too.
is Sophie. She's the mastermind behind the amazing interior design. So for this specific project, where did maybe the inspiration come from, or what's your background in interior design?
In terms of my background in interior design, it's more kind of the creative arts is where I started. I guess I just enjoy playing around with different styles and textures, colours. Inspiration, where I get those things from, I tend to look online a lot. I go have a look on Pinterest. To be honest, Instagram's a really great place to get some inspiration. And I go from there in terms of the next step I take is coming to the property and having a look at it, seeing what the four walls, and then in this case it was derelict, so that was quite difficult at the time to have a look, and it was basically just brick. And
okay, in terms of you yourself, like your background maybe, do you have any previous experience in interior design, or did you maybe take a course along the way? Was it just,
no experience whatsoever in interior design. It just, I think, comes natural to me. People talk to me and they're like, how have you done this, or how have you put this together? And I'm like, I don't know what.
It just comes natural.
I don't know, it just happens. Okay, so obviously we've got the lounge. You can see all different kinds of textures. We've got like faux leather, faux fur, and then just kind of, I like the layering of different textures, suedes. Again, this was really kind of key to the style that we chose, that industrial farmhouse, and picking up on like metal. Again, we go to a place in Sutton Coldfield called the Reusers. This is like a charity where, again, like all of these items are kind of pre-loved, and we have a property just over the road called Autumn Loft, so we wanted it in the same vein.
Okay.
These two properties, kind of sister properties, and there's a lot of stuff in there from Reusers too.
So you get a lot of your stuff from charity shops?
Maybe not necessarily charity shops, these Reusers, they're kind of pre-loved items. Some of them are really cool, like you'll see upstairs, like old copper pans, things that can just really kind of enhance the style of the property. You mix that then with the more kind of modern items.
Okay, makes sense. Very nice room. It's probably my favourite room in the property so far.
Thanks. And again, this was the first for me in this particular project. So sourcing the kitchen and the bathroom, not something that I've done before. Again, you learn lots of lessons from doing projects like this. There was a couple of delays on bits and bobs that you have to kind of work around. But I mean, we've got these in our own home, but just features like this, making things stand out, making them stylish. And just thinking about those, like, I don't know, those finer details, things that put that wow into a property. So you've got the LED strip that sits on the bottom of the shower, that mood lighting, that kind of vibe and feel that you want to get when you come in. You want to take a shower and you want to relax. You just don't want it to be whitewash and cold.
It gives a luxury vibe as well, I think.
Yeah. So again, choices with the tiles. We've got these like bottle green, forest green tiles at the moment, and looking at kind of what's trending to something that's quite important, obviously, because you want to attract an audience, attract your guests. So we've reflected that in the bathroom, in the shower tiles, but also you'll see upstairs it's reflected in there, and in the kitchen we've got white as the backsplash for the kitchen as well. In terms of the choice, so we knew we were going with copper. So I always say you kind of start with your materials, and your accent colours. So we here have got like greens, beiges. The metal that we're choosing, you either obviously go for gold or your silvers or black or wood, and that tells you kind of like what your curtain poles are going to be, what your bed frame's going to be like, what desk you might choose. And copper was one of the main materials and colours that we were going to put through. Another thing that I look at doing is kind of creating purposeful spaces. I don't really like going and it's just, they've just kind of put something there, but you can't really do anything with it.
It's like a meaning behind everything.
Yeah, so like if you were to kind of be in a space, so like this obviously is it's an extremely functional space, but it's also a really cool space in terms of the experience that we want to give our guests. So having that, I mean, again, there was that I wanted the tile to kind of meet the floor. We had to really kind of work with the guys to figure out how that was going to happen, especially with the herringbone floor. But it did, and it come together, and having the light hanging over. So this is not only kind of like a stylish space, but it's got a purpose. If you were to look over to the corner there with the chair, the side table, it's got a purpose to that space.
Yeah,
so
nothing seems out of place.
No, yeah, and I think with this particular project, I was able to be a bit more playful. And I would say it's the most maximalist approach I've taken so far.
What that means?
So like the amount of things. So if you have a look and you see like the bed frame, so these are meant to be bedside lamps, but they're huge, obviously. So I was able to play around with the proportions, and we've got a privacy screen for guests, just making sure, you know. When I was thinking about it, I was thinking, do I put a curtain across? Do you just leave it there? It's all of these things that I find really enjoyable, kind of playing around with. Does the bath go at the bottom of the bed? But again, that wouldn't work if the guest was to walk in. And so it's exactly, and it's thinking about, and you do have to really go into those kind of details. Main inspiration.
Family
so we say we're basically family run, family led, like. They come around to projects. She was here like when we were doing the interior and the staging, and my son, God bless him, he comes in and out as well.
You get them started early?
Start them early, literally lead by example. So features, I mean, the main feature you can see is obviously the original oven that was in here. We wanted to really make sure that we restored it, brought it back to life, and had that as a feature, removing that. Like, do you remember I said upstairs, like leaning into these features and what the property kind of gives you is really key to the design that I do. Thinking about how we could use this oven again and leaning into the experience made sense to me to put in a pizza oven and have that as a feature, and then so that influenced the design then of the kitchen and kind of the design of the house, because when you, I don't know if you like when you go into pizzerias and you see the hot lamps over
Pizza Hut as well. I think they have them all
exactly. So and you put like your pizzas out, keeps your food hot. So that kind of got the cogs turning. Then thinking about how we could do that. Then I started seeing these copper lamps, and that lent into the kind of materials and the colours and the palette that we would be using. So I found these, and these were really cool. So we had got the larger ones, and then the smaller ones. Are just mirrored on the side there, but just kind of getting that vibe and having some of these the accessories. just so that you can really kind of build that experience, so when they come in they know that that's kind of what they're going to be doing, making pizza and having fun. And
the property itself, I think you guys named it the Oven House, is that correct? Where's the inspiration for that? Because I think you guys name all of your properties a certain thing. Where does the inspiration behind the names come from? Is that you again?
I'd like to for that one? I'd like to take credit for it, but basically, inside scoop, when I met Niall, he already had Mandarin Courts. That was his first. And then he was working on Blueberry View when we met, and I kind of joined in on that project, and from there on out, and we just saw eye to eye on it. But he did have, I've got to say, the vision when it came to kind of like the brand, the naming, and having it so that it stood out, and then linking that colour in with it as well. And I just came in and gave it a bit more of a touch to it, bit more of a zhuzh and a theme. And so it was a joint effort.
It's probably in immaculate condition, so thanks for taking us around this one.
No problem.
We know you guys do a lot of obviously rent to rent, and you also work with clients a lot, but we also heard you have like a BRR.
We do have a BRR. It's actually our OG property, so the first one that we did. But do you want to come and see it?
100%, let's go. Thank you for watching the video, and thank you to Niall and Sophie for having us down their properties. As you can see, they're excelling in the property industry, moving on to bigger and better things. So make sure you go drop them a follow and keep up with their journey. And make sure you drop us a follow, share, subscribe, like, and we'll see you in the next one.